Hey everyone, Tony Schmidt here from the Tony Schmidt podcast and Thread Marketing Solutions. And did I get your attention? Are you still with me? Maybe I got your attention from making that crazy face, maybe not. But if I did, that was my attempt at pattern interrupt, which is what I'm going to talk to you about today. Like, what the heck is Tony doing? Is she okay? Is she being abducted in the woods somewhere? So that was my uncreative attempt at getting your attention. If it still worked and you're still with me, I challenge you to stay to the end of this video because I have a lot of good ideas, I think. So pattern interrupt, I listened to a podcast from Russell Brunson, who's fabulous, by the way. You should check out his podcast if you're into marketing at all, because he focuses on funnels, but he just delivers a great message and has some great ideas and very easy to listen to. I really have enjoyed him for probably a couple years now. I've been listening to his podcast. Very successful. Anyway, he was talking about how important pattern interrupt is in ClickFunnels, and really got me thinking about how important pattern interrupt is in every way in life. And I'll talk about marketing, but I'll also talk about parenting and dating in the online dating world, how important it is. And as I got to thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a noisy world. And if you build it, they will come is no longer, the case. And how can I help people to get what they want in this noisy world, which is what I'm all about and what I'm writing about in my book that is going to be out very soon, by the way. Well, not too soon. I'm still working on it, but I will let you know. Anyway, if you are using marketing and you want to stand out in the newsfeed, video is no longer, just using video, I should say, is no longer going to get people's attention unless you haven't used it, and all of a sudden you start using it, or you use live video. All of a sudden you'll get attention because people, it's interrupting that pattern of you just posting pictures or pictures of your kids or whatever. But if you're doing videos all the time, it's not going to get noticed. So there's lots of different things you can do about that. For video, you can, if you're always doing videos like this, let's say, you can do an interview, or you can do it in an office, or you can do it somewhere else that will grab people's attention. You can also change the method that you deliver the video. For instance, my friend Nicole, she's in real estate, and she uses an app or software called BombBomb, which is great, and she's getting great results by how they're delivering the video. I think they deliver it through email and maybe text messages, but it's something different than what everybody else is doing. So there's tons of ways you can do that. Also, sometimes it's just branding. Like my friend Brian Fanzo, he wears this backward baseball cap and these unique sneakers, and he is a keynote speaker, and that is his thing. He interrupts the pattern of everyone in a suit that is next to him and usually lined up for those kind of lectures. So he breaks the pattern. I was at a luxury brand innovators conference one time in New York City in Manhattan, and this woman walks in, and I mean, this is a room full of executives, CMOs of like Mercedes-Benz and Louis Vuitton and like all these huge brands, right? I was a little intimidated in trying to fit in myself with the right suit, which I'm sure I probably did not do a great job of. However, this woman walks in, and she has a backward baseball cap and jeans and a flannel shirt. I think this was a couple years ago. And she started talking about emojis and GIFs and how they were going to be like the next big thing. I guess it was more than like a couple years ago. It was probably like 5 or 8 years ago. And I was like, I bet this lady is really smart. She doesn't care what people think. And she definitely disrupted the pattern of getting attention in that particular space. And so it's always interesting to me. With dating, I've been lucky enough to be in the online dating world, and you literally have most of the services or swipe right or swipe left. You literally have 1 second to get people's attention. And sometimes you're attractive enough that you can get people's attention that way, and you can pattern interrupt that way among the sea of other people. Otherwise, I can tell you from looking at other people and searching for myself that some people will get your attention by having their profile picture be something funny or something creative or something interesting. And that's how they get my attention, and then I look at their profile, because otherwise they might just blend in with everybody else, right? Sometimes it's with parenting. So there's times with the kids, I have 2 kids, age 7 and 10, and when I feel like yelling, sometimes, we all have those parenting moments when you're like, oh my God, why won't they listen? I'm losing my patience. I'll start whispering like this. And they stop dead in their tracks and they listen like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, why is she whispering? It works, people, it works, I'm telling you. So what I want to encourage you to do is use pattern interrupt. That might be sending out text messages. This past week, I have taken a break from social media, and I realized that in itself is pattern interrupt, because I post a lot on social media, and or I should say I post a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and I took a break this week from those platforms and instead have been focusing on LinkedIn, email messages, a little bit of Twitter, and just doing things completely different. And when I come back to those platforms, to Instagram and Facebook, guess what? I'm gonna get my traffic and engagement is going to look like that, because all of a sudden they're not used to seeing me and they're going to see me again. So I'm breaking that pattern, right? And over this past week, I've done different things that I don't usually do. Like for my podcast, I started sending people text messages asking them to look at my podcast or listen to my podcast. And I got messages back from them saying, oh yes, thanks for thinking of me. I can't wait to. And so I'm just doing things different. And I think what I'm going to start doing is every week or every month, I'm going to have 1 week where I take a break from Facebook and Instagram and just do different things. Because not only is it good for just my psyche, because I've found myself more relaxed and more creative in the space when I'm not looking at Instagram and Facebook way too much. I have kind of an addictive personality, so moderation can be a little tricky for me. So I find myself on those platforms too often, and sometimes you just need a break. And going through emails or going through LinkedIn or going through other platforms can be really helpful for a variety of reasons. So those are my tips today. Please, please, please check out my podcast, the Tony Schmidt podcast on Anchor. I don't know if it's on iTunes yet, but you can download the Anchor app and access it that way. Please share this out if you think it is helpful. I'm really trying to get my message out there and help more people to grow their business and engage successfully with their life. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.